This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtuo Coffee Machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista-quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your Virtuo Pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter, Hyphenly. It is our no-fluff love letter with hot takes, heartfelt stories, and all the feels of living in between cultures. Come for the nuance, stay for the vibes. Link is in the show notes. Hello, hello. Welcome to Lovely. I'm your host, Mehak, and happy Friday. We made it through another week of chaos. Honestly, I've had some really fun, cute days lately. Lots of hanging out with my friends, finally back at the gym. And guys, before coming to the studio to record this, Taylor Swift, she got engaged. Oh my God. I'm sick. I'm so happy to hear this news. I do have to ask my guest because he's looking at me like he does not care about this.
Don't want money, just someone who wants my company.
I cannot wait for the new album. I cannot wait to see her wedding. I think it's going to be so whimsical and majestic. I don't even know what to tell you. I feel like my best friend just got engaged. I think I might have to go out after this to celebrate the engagement. Speaking of love and engagement, I know that prenup is going to be the longest book Travis Kelce has ever read, as it should be. But let's get real. I'm not there yet because that would require me to go on more dates and fall in love. And the bar is in hell right now, and I haven't gone on a lot of dates recently. Last week's episode, it was a solo episode, so if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to that, I spilled some tea on a Hinge nightmare, so definitely go check that out. I also share some of my reflections on love and dating and a recent movie that I watched. And also towards the end of the episode, I mentioned this guy that I'm dating and he asked me about my podcast, and he's been listening, so I was like, I hope he doesn't listen to this one. Screenshot while I'm at dinner last Friday. He listened to it, and I'm like, sir, that was both cute and terrifying. But today is not about me. Today's episode is about Eric, my dear friend, who I wish I could tell you I met 5 years ago or 6 years ago, but I actually just met him this summer. But when you meet someone and you think they're going to be really important, Eric is one of those people for me. Going to talk about why saying hello to strangers feels impossible these days, and just what love looks like in 2025. So, Eric, welcome to Lovely.
Thank you, Mehak, so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and hello to all of the listeners. It's a pleasure to meet you guys. And, Mehak said I'm 29. I'm actually 27, so don't age me, girl.
Holy shit!
Don't age me, girl.
Oh my goodness!
I already lost 2 years in COVID, so don't add two more on there.
Okay, well, you know what? You're very mature.
Thank you.
You're very mature. That's why I don't know why I thought you were 29.
So it's funny, a lot of people say that. They're like, you look so young, which I'm like,
literally.
Hello.
Yeah.
No Botox. This is all natural.
Slay.
We were just saying that earlier before we started. But thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and I can't wait to shoot the shit with you.
Shoot the shit with me. Yeah, I feel like we do it all the other time, so it's just You know, it's
Like the
just
back
the
of
only
our
thing
hand.
missing is wine,
Yeah.
you know, or drinks.
I should have brought something actually.
I know.
Pop some bottles.
Next time. Okay, so remind me. I was trying to think like where did we meet and how did we meet?
So I think we probably met through the boys. Maybe you've talked about them before on the podcast. but
Yeah, I have definitely.
Arsalan,
Yes, Mikey,
Curtis, Mikey,
Kamal, all of them.
Kamal, the boys.
Yes.
And I think our proper official was at Snack House. Like I'm trying to think.
Yes,
it has to
was.
be, right?
It was, yeah.
And you were doing the most in there with the media. She wasn't leaving no page unturned. Like she was getting every shot, and she did a bang ass job. I will say.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think since then, and then we kind of integrated from there. And then the other night was when we watched Drag Race.
Drag Race, yes. Yeah. I think that's really when I was like, okay, like I can have a conversation with you in a setting. And I was like, something about your aura and energy. It was just like, I adore you.
Like long lost friends.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I felt that.
Exactly. But even though it's like long lost friends, I'm really excited that you are on the episode today because I don't know a lot of your backstory and I really do want to get to know. So I guess let's start with that. Like, talk to me about where and how you were raised and how did that shape your views on like dating and relationships today?
I'm an only child. I don't really have that only child syndrome where well, maybe I used to, but you kind of grow older and you mature and you realize that, that's just not the way to live. My parents are a little bit older. So my dad's almost 70. They had been trying for 10 years to have children when they got married. And so they finally had the miracle baby, which was me.
Yeah.
My mom was like, this is the last effing time I'm putting a needle in my ass. and I'm going to do this hormone shit. She's like, this is the last time. And then we're going to adopt. Literally, I was the last try. So I grew up with parents that were extremely supportive. Like no matter what I wanted to do, they threw me into every sport I wanted to try, gave me literally every opportunity I could have ever asked for. And so for that, I am eternally grateful for them. But caveat to that is that I didn't have siblings, right? So I didn't compromise. And so I feel like it widened my horizon so much because I got to experience so much. I got to travel a lot. I got to do so many sports. My parents just, I think, always maybe felt guilty a little bit that they didn't or were unable to give me a sibling. So they were always trying to put me with, other people. And make sure that I established really good social skills because they knew that would be important, right?
Did you ever vocalize that to your parents that I want a brother, or I want a sister, or they just assumed you would be just like, when you get like a dog or a cat and you're like, we need to get them another one? Did they kind of feel like that or you expressed it?
I don't think as a kid I ever was like, hey, mom and dad, head up to where the magic happens. Let's make me a brother.
Yeah.
I was kind of like very social with kids at school. And I always had friends. Like I would say that I was never, except when I was young. So when I was young, this is like a little short story, but I figure skated. I'm not sure if you knew that.
No, tell me about that.
Yeah, so I used to be a competitive figure skater. By the end of my career, I was a 2-time junior national champion of the Netherlands. I had a Dutch passport because my mom was from there. So when I was born, I was automatically dual citizen and did that for so long, from I'd say 5 or 6 until I was about 19. But starting out as a kid in a neighborhood with other boys who were hockey players and stuff like that, you're like the the little gay kid, right? So you get ostracized a little bit from a young age because, let's be honest, kids don't know better. But I quickly nipped that in the butt.
How did you nip it in the butt?
You just get hotter and you get taller than them.
I love it. He is hot and he is tall.
You get hotter than them and you get taller. No, but not to use that in a vain way.
Sure.
But to this day, if I saw them, I would still be polite. I would not hold that against them. At the end of the day, they were kids. But I think it's just really coming to terms with the fact that you are who you are. There's nothing that you can change about that. And even later on in my life, I'd say towards the end of high school, coming to accept who I really was and everything like that is when you start to really create those better bonds. And you start to realize that to be your authentic self is the utmost beneficial thing that you can do for yourself. And it'll only strengthen the relationships around you. because it sucks to live in a shadow all the time,
It
right?
really does. And it's really unfortunate when you don't have, I guess, the confidence yourself to be authentically yourself, but that also has a correlation to the people around you. Like, you do need a supportive community to kind of push you to that space where you feel comfortable. When did you know you were gay?
I'd say probably from like an early age.
Yeah. Were you
Like,
noticing boys? Like, what was it?
yeah, like, well, when I think back to it, I always had crushes on girls, right? When I was a kid. My teacher was one, for example, in grade 2. I loved her. I started wearing cologne because I wanted to impress her. My
Aw.
mom was like, "This is ridiculous. we'll,
Yeah.
we'll do it. We'll do it anyway." Her name was Miss McLean. Miss McLean, if you're out there and you happen to see this, you were my favorite teacher. I love that woman. She's the
love
best.
it. Yeah.
But I did have crushes, but I was also like lustful, I'd say, for guys. And I'm not a gold star gay, right? So to preface,
What does
like,
that mean?
gold star. So gold star gay is if you've never had any relations with like the opposite gender. So we'll group everybody. So lesbian, gold star lesbian, a lesbian who's never been with a man before.
I see.
Nothing sexual, like nothing like that.
Okay.
Gold star gay, same shit, but with women.
Okay.
And so I've actually had sex with women,
You
right?
have?
I have.
Okay.
It was probably something I enjoyed it. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say that it was like this cooties
Yeah, yeah.
awful thing.
Yeah. You tried it.
I tried it. Felt like I needed to try it
For sure.
to like make sure I knew what I liked. Not to say that it was unfulfilling, like we had a great time, but it wasn't emotionally stimulating. It was more so just to get it done and see if I was into it or not. And so slowly but surely, like I came out to my parents as bi. That's a whole other story for another podcast.
I was gonna ask, how did your parents react when you told them? Like, it sounds like they would have been supportive because you said they were really supportive.
They are super supportive. So my dad is an Eastern European background, but he's pretty much Canadian. He's Ukrainian. And you'd think that from like a background like that, no matter born in Canada or not, you probably wouldn't be so supportive. He was. My dad is the best man ever. Like, he is such a sweetheart. And my mom comes from a pretty liberal country, like Amsterdam. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
That's like
I mean,
red light district,
yeah.
weed. And
There's nothing that would phase them there.
nothing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the funny thing is that the situation in which they found out was not putting me in the best
Tell me.
light as a horny,
Okay.
18-year-old.
Right.
I'll do it long story short. So my beautiful Oma had died.
Oma
And
is your
Grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. On
Okay.
my Dutch side.
Got it.
I was still like early on in my experimenting with men. I downloaded Grindr and I was like, oh, what is it's like a playground of like all of these beautiful men. Everyone is like
Stunning.
right?
Yeah.
I'm close to the German border, got some, German hotties and baddies in here.
Mhm.
And I found a guy that was like really, really sweet. He was really cute, but he lived just far enough that I couldn't go to him and like I wouldn't need him to come to me. Couldn't drive my bike very easily. So I was like, come over here and like we'll find a a place to go. And like my Oma lived by herself in this like beautiful house. And I was like, well, the house is empty now that she's not around anymore. You don't really think when you're horny and 18 years old. He comes over, we kind of talk for a little bit, and the chemistry was there. Out of respect, if we can call it that, I went up to the attic.
Okay, good for you.
We didn't do it in Granny's bed. We went up to the attic. And it was a safe place, right? Like I felt safe there. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't going in a bush somewhere, like
Right. Yeah.
nothing like that.
Yeah.
We did our stuff. But as we were doing it, I kind of heard something downstairs, but I thought it was just me being paranoid.
Right.
And I was like, oh no, like we're good. We're good. We finish, head downstairs. He heads on his way. I get on my bike and I see my grandmother's neighbor right next. And it's a small town, right? Like we're talking 3,000 people,
Right.
4,000 people.
Everyone knows everyone.
Everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
Even though I don't live there and I've maybe been there months in a year, they know who I am. He's like, yeah, like I saw this random guy come into the house and like I got scared. So I came inside, but like I didn't really hear anything. So I came out, but I called your dad and your mom and your dad's on his way. And I was like, perfect. I was like, Hank, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you right now. And as he's saying that, my dad is like stormtrooping around the corner. Like I see him like this and he's like marching because he thinks there's like an intruder in the house, right? So he comes around the corner, he meets us. And by the way, this whole time, as I was talking with the neighbor, telling him, oh, it was just my friend.
Yeah. This is my dead grandmother's house. Look around.
It's part of the tour,
right?
I, by accident, called my mom. And she's hearing this whole conversation. So there goes lying about anything, right?
Yeah.
It was meant to be. I always think back and I was like, it was meant to be.
This is the moment you're going to come out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My dad meets up and he's like, what the hell's going on? And I see that I had called my mom and I just hang up the phone and I'm like, let's go back to the apartment. So my parents had bought a place like down the street from my grandmother's. They were like, when she gets older, like they can be close, take care of her, but like not be in her space. And it was good for us to visit in the summers and whatever. So they're there. I'm like, let's go back to the apartment and do that, right? So we go upstairs and I tell them. And for the first 10 minutes, they were just absolutely mortified that I used my grandmother's house for something like this.
Yeah.
And then once they realized the gravity, I think, of what I was telling them, they were like, come give us a hug. Like, we love you. Like, they kind of totally like did a 180, right?
Yeah.
Which was really nice to see. But yeah, I know that's like a short story long instead of long story short, but that's basically how it happened.
Well, thank you for sharing that story. I would have been mortified in the moment, but I think at the end of the day, it's comforting to know that regardless of how it happened, your parents are supportive and they're fully accepting of who you are. And I think you truly are a miracle baby because I think everywhere you go, you spread so much light and joy.
Oh, Mehak.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and Auto Camp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
I want to fast forward from past to present day.
Okay.
I want to ask, when people hear that you're 27 and you've never had a boyfriend, what's the first assumption they usually make that is very off base?
Probably that I'm fucking crazy. They're like, you look like how you look, right? You are how you are. There's got to be something wrong.
Flaw.
And I totally understand that. Looking from the outside in, I would probably think the same thing. The truth of the matter, right, Mehak, is that for so long, because of my skating, I was so busy with my own life, right? I didn't have the time to invest in someone else. And looking back, that was more so just a product of me not even having the time truly. Now it's sort of transitioned to I don't feel like I'm capable of giving someone the time. If that makes sense.
Right now you feel like you're not capable of giving someone the time.
Think about it, right?
Yeah.
When you take on a relationship like that, there's a lot more that comes with that than just the lovey-dovey cuddles in bed. You know,
it's emotional investment too.
1000%.
Yeah.
And for where I am in my life right now, not saying that I'm in the trenches, you have to be at a certain, I feel like, emotional level where you are responsible for that other person as well. So that when something does happen, you can be there unconditionally. And so it's more so a way of me not protecting myself, right? Because if you know that you're not going to be able to be there for someone, that relationship is not going to end well. And then you've built all these feelings, and I'm not going to say wasted time because you've never wasted time. You're always learning something. But I just feel like I haven't met someone yet where it's worth fueling all of that energy
Yeah.
into. You know what I mean?
We're going to get into that
Get
because
into it.
I know you shared something with me while we were out on the weekend. However, I will say that approach that you've had in the past and even right now, it's like if I'm emotionally unavailable in these aspects and I can't give it to my partner, that's so like you're so self-aware and also like selfless, because a lot of selfish people would just be like, well, I could get the perks and benefits of what I need in terms of companionship at my own time,
1,000%.
the physical perks or whatever. But I do like that you understand you need to have respect for the person. When you respect for the person, you want to adore them and you want to give them enough attention.
I like how you said that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. She's not a host just for nothing. Okay, so let's get into what's the dating status these days? Are you talking to anyone?
So the craziest tea, and I hate cliche sayings. And you know that one where people are like, it's going to happen when you least expect it. Everyone's heard that one, right?
Yeah.
So that's what freaking happened.
Really?
This weekend.
Tell
So
me.
one of my best friends, his name is Jaden, who you also know. Caramel.
Slay.
He is a
Icon.
drag queen. Her stage name is Caramel. Such a talent. If you haven't checked her out, please do so.
She is iconic.
She's ruined drag for me, to be honest, because I hate watching other people.
Yes.
Like she does such a... Anyways.
She's so good.
She was performing the other night in the Village. For all you non-Toronto baddies, the Village is the gay area scene in Toronto. And she's like, come through. So we have our cut water. We go to the Village. Jaden's there. And behind him is this like 7 foot tall in heels, right? Like gorgeous woman. And I'm like, wow, hi.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Eric. Nice to meet you.
You introduced yourself first?
Yes.
Okay, hot.
Or it's like a mutual kind of like,
you
you
locked
go
eyes.
around the circle. And I had seen what I didn't know of a photo of him prior, the day before. And I was going to message Jaden and be like, who is this sexy man? You know, like, who is this really hot guy? And I don't want to be that horny friend. That's like, who is this?
Person?
Like, I want to fuck all your friends.
Yeah.
Keep it in your pants.
Yeah.
Like, relax,
Yeah.
please.
Composed.
Keep it classy. So I didn't do that, but it just worked out that
Yeah.
that was him in drag. It just you don't make the connection, right? So we end up, going home. On our way out, like we exchange Instagrams and he gives me his name is Aiden, his Instagram. The fireworks were just pew, 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 like going off. And so we came over one night and we just like danced together and like listened to music. We had the same music taste, like had some drinks, just like really poured each other's heart out to each other. It was so lovely.
Like insane connection.
Yeah,
it sounds like.
And he kept saying it feels so natural. And it did, right?
Yeah.
And so he came over the next night and then he went to Ottawa for Ottawa Pride and then he came back on Monday. I was feeling like a little off. We were supposed to go for dinner. So I told him like, just come over, like let's watch something instead.
Yeah.
And we did that and
This was yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And we had such a lovely evening.
Oh my goodness. So y'all are like talking?
Yeah. The issue is that he lives in Vancouver.
Right.
Yeah. And I know that we talked about this and I'm willing to give it a try and like talk with him. But it's also at the same time like this would also be my first relationship if we're going to jump ahead. And
has he ever been in a relationship before?
Yeah, I think he has. Like we loosely touched on it.
I see.
And I'm like unsure if I would want my first relationship to be a long distance one, So that's like the issue that I'm kind of balancing right now. But he's so nice.
He sounds lovely.
He's so lovely.
I would say, okay, my advice to you would be, take you with a grain of salt. When a connection feels that natural and like you feel the sparks, but it's not just the intensity, but it's also like backed by actions. Like you guys aren't just like pen pals and talking to each other. Like you're actually making time and spending quality time together. Go with the flow. Like what do you have to lose? Because if you don't give this a real go, you might look back and be like, what if? And you'd rather be like, you don't want to wake up with regrets.
It's so true.
I think you should go for it.
And I like what you said there with what if. I'm always an oh well type of person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would much rather say oh well
than what if.
than the what if. it festers. It bothers me so much, that what if. And so I will.
Okay,
Actually,
good.
I will give it a try and go with the flow, like not to rush anything, right? And we even talked like in the short time about me going to visit him in Vancouver. So I would definitely be open to that. But yeah,
Oh
it's
my
been a
God, that's
little
so cute.
it feels nice to have that feeling. Someone likes you back and there's no games that are being played and there's
Yeah.
no like hopefully this ages well.
I mean, it's going to release soon. No, it will. Inshallah, I'm manifesting
Inshallah.
this to flourish. Yes. And I'm really invested in this love story. So
Amazing. We'll have to keep you up to date.
keep me posted. I'm trying to think like when is the last time I felt this type of connection? Because
Yeah, tell
like
me.
I mean, I'm trying to like go back to it. I don't think recently I've had a connection where I have met someone a few times and I'm like, we spent like hours talking. I feel like dating for me is fun because dating for me is also a portal. Like it shows me like where I am in life, the person that I'm going to be, the person that I was, and if I'm growing from it or I'm not growing from it. But it's also like nice meeting new people. So I feel like I have gone on some good dates recently. There is probably one particular person that I'm a little excited about, but it's like just way, 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 way too early.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I think I haven't really met someone where you get like super giddy when their name pops up on your screen. But I'll keep you posted too.
Where you are now in your dating life, let's say, right? I'd say for me, for example, like I used to be very like superficial, like it was like a looks kind of thing. To then realize later on that I care so much more about the personality. Because if that's not there,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna waste my
Totally.
time.
Yeah.
What is like where is it when you found someone that you're like, I'm gonna pull the trigger? Like what is it that they give you or
Yeah.
that you feel from them that you're like, I'm gonna give this a try?
I'm going to start off by saying I want it all. Okay. That's what I'm going to say. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. When I say I want it all, I'm definitely focused more on the whole package. Okay. So let's start from bottom and go to up. So at the very bottom, you don't need to be a 10 out of 10 in looks, but I need to be physically attracted to you.
And take care of yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Groom yourself, hygiene, all of that. Like I need to be looking at you across the dinner table and I need to want to kiss you.
Like
You know
you're
what I
about
mean?
to crawl up on that table. It's like, you want dessert?
Yeah. Exactly that, right? So that's in terms of like the physical attributes. And I don't think that I am the type of person, because I've done this before where everything else was there, but I wasn't physically attracted to them and I gave it a go. But you can't force that. You cannot force that. So that's the physical attributes. In terms of like what they need to come with, definitely want an emotionally mature person, emotionally aware, someone that is like kind, considerate, and like pays attention to the small details and is actually a doer. I always say I don't need a man to get me flowers, but I won't date one that doesn't.
Yeah. You said that the other night.
Yes.
And it's so true.
Yeah.
Because you don't
Yeah.
at the end of the day, but the fact that he thought about it to do so
Yes.
it's more so the thought than the actual physical
Exactly.
whatever that he's getting, right?
And that goes with a lot of things, right? Like I feel like the way that I am in a relationship, like I'm a giver. So I want a giver back in all different aspects. And I think a lot of people like ask me, they're like, why are you single or whatever, this and that. And I feel like in today's time, it feels like I'm looking for a unicorn because it's kind of, there are good men out there. I won't say there aren't.
Mhm. But it's like a needle in a
But the
haystack.
bar is in freaking hell.
It's so bad.
I posted a TikTok the other day about a man doing, everything right on a date that I went on. And I said, I'm not going to stand up and applaud him for it because it's the bare minimum.
Like low key.
But the bare minimum is not so bare minimum. And the comments, it's always a mediocre man that's commenting, right? You never see a hot person comment. It's because they don't have time for that. They keep it moving. But literally so many people, so many men were like, Oh, this is too much work. Next, too much work. What did you do in return for him? You want to be a woman so bad.
But do you think that I feel like there's a lot of DL men out
There
there
are.
that
There
low
are.
key, they're
There
like,
are.
there's some jealousy complex or something with
Yeah.
women. Like, I don't understand what it is. Like,
Especially on TikTok, you really see some people's true colors come out in the comments.
and the incels.
Yes, yes, it's insane. And I love that my content literally like makes you so angry because you stay away.
Yeah.
You know, like stay away from me. But okay, anyway, so again, my dating life, she's still single. She's dating, and
She's a baddie.
when it happens, it will happen.
1,000%.
Yeah.
When you're least expecting
Yeah.
it.
Cue some rom-com music.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Something that you said really stayed with me. So like you were at this drag show and you mutually like said hi to one another. But I'm finding it more and more like we're the generation that is like so connected, right? Because you have everything on from the apps to social media. But do you also think that people aren't going up to people in person to have that connection because we've been so trained to expect rejection? So if they wanted to talk to us, we're like, well, they should slide into our DMs. Or they would just do that. Like, why do you think it's so hard to talk to people?
It's funny. Like, I am one of those people that are nervous.
Me too.
And I can't lie, when it's anything else and not romantically charged, right? Like, I'm not interested in this person, I can talk to anybody. Like, I'm such an extrovert.
Like, anytime I need to talk to a girl or the gays, no problem.
Easy.
A hot straight man that I'm interested in, a problem. A problem.
Yeah. I truly, I've thought about it, and I think it is like that fear of rejection, you know, to go up and like shoot your shot and be vulnerable. I think it's an issue with vulnerability. Probably inherently like a little bit of like an ego hit too. It takes a lot to be vulnerable, let's be honest, right? And to put your heart on your sleeve for it to be shattered by someone who couldn't even give you the courtesy of 5 seconds, it hurts.
It hurt. And you know what? I was thinking about this and I'm like, yeah, like everyone, a lot of us fear rejection. But is it more than that? Is it also that sometimes, okay, the first step is you go to someone, you say hi, and there's an opening. But then are we also more scared of not being interesting enough to hold a conversation? Like the awkward, silent
Pauses.
moments.
Yeah.
It's just so like weird these days.
I feel like it's also a bit of a shift of like the culture too. Like from a gay perspective, it's a little bit different than in a, you know, straight kind of situation. A straight guy is like a lot more scared or nervous to go up to a girl he finds attractive now because he's scared to be put on that TikTok of a creepy guy. Come on too strong. That's a different story, right? But I feel like there should be, in every sense, right, in every community, a more open-mindedness to having people come and approach you. Because there's even situations where I've thought myself where someone has come up to me and I probably didn't act in like the most welcoming situation, or I wasn't expecting it, so it put me off guard and like I wasn't open to it. Maybe it's a conversation of having more of an open mind, regardless of who this person is. And obviously, we make quick judgments. Anybody that says, oh, I don't judge by looks or any, you do.
You do 100%.
I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
you 1000%
Yeah.
do. It truly is what keeps us safe sometimes, right? You judge a situation by how it looks, right? And you retract or you engage. And so definitely if that person is maybe not immediately what you envision or what you're looking for, you might not be as receptive, right? But that person could fuel you in such an intellectual way. They don't have to be a 10. But if they're kind of fulfilling other components of what you're looking for, then maybe it's a conversation worth having. So maybe it's more of a conversation of being more open-minded, right? That, you know, people that are coming up to you, it doesn't always have to be a
So are we being cliche again and say the change starts with yourself?
Maybe. I think for us,
you have
maybe.
to be the change you want to see in the world.
Right? But I feel like there's also people out there that really always give it a shot and they always go after it and they're getting shut down and they're getting shut down and they're getting shut down. And, you know, they probably ask the same question, why is that happening to me? Right? You hear everybody, I'm so tired of the apps, so tired of going online and finding, you know, because to be honest, there's so hookup culture. Tinder and Hinge, all of those, like to me at least, it's like people are like, oh, they're more serious. Download Bumble. Every single person wanted to just like fuck on that app. At least the ones that I met. Everyone says, oh, I wish I could just meet someone organically. But then at the same time, we're so closed off to it almost at the same time when it does happen. It's bizarre, right? So you want these things to happen organically, but are you, the question, open-minded when it actually comes down to it?
Yeah, I think a good muscle to flex is take the pressure off of it. So like go up to someone just for the sake of going up to them to make a connection, even platonically, or pay them a compliment. Okay, we're going out this Friday. I think we should do
So
a social
excited.
experiment.
Let's do it.
I think
We'll hold each other accountable.
We'll do a social experiment and we'll include some of the girlies too, because I really want to see what happens when a girl goes up to a guy. Because in my mind, I feel like the guy, I don't know, it just in my head, I feel like the guy will be like, what? Like, why are you coming up to me? Like, it's giving like desperate or whatever. But men are so easy. I feel they're so easy.
They are.
You just need to go say hi.
So you know Lydia by now. Lydia, so she's Spanish for those of you
She's
listening
so
from
fucking
Spain.
confident. I love her.
She will deadass go up to men.
She terrorizes men. Men don't terrorize her. I love that girl so much.
She doesn't care.
No, she genuinely terrorizes men, and I live for that.
And maybe that's the thing, Mehak. It's caring. Like you either care too much about how you're perceived and how that person will perceive you, that you don't do it to begin with. So it's maybe not even an open-minded thing. It's like
Totally.
You care so much about what others think or how that
I think
person's
that's
going
such
to
a
think
good
of
point.
you.
We care so fucking much. Who cares?
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? You're never going to see them again.
You know what I go off of?
Yeah.
And this one is so good. Feed, fuck, and finance, right? If that person...
the three Fs?
The three Fs. If that person doesn't do one of those three things, you shouldn't give a shit, right? Feed is a little bit more broad. That person can feed you intellectually. They can feed you literally.
Physical food.
Yeah. They can feed you so many different ways, right? The fuck and the finance are pretty straightforward. But those are the three things.
Okay, if you're not contributing to my life in those
three
aspects,
Fs,
then I don't care.
why do you care? I don't care about your opinion, right? Because so many people let opinions affect you, right? But it's like if that person's not doing those three Fs, so like why do I really care to begin with? But I like that. We'll do that at social experiment.
Yeah, let's do that. And then when I record my next episode, I'll tell people how it went. Okay, I love that. I love that. And I guess like I said, when I first met you, you seem very like grounded, right? You're welcome. I also want to ask, like, do you think the way you were raised and how supportive your parents are and how much, you know, they show up for you, has that actually protected you from settling for the wrong person? Like being, you know, 27 and taking your time to really find someone that's right. Like it's proof. Like I feel like some people, like you said, think you're crazy, but isn't it proof that like you have standards and you haven't wasted time on people that didn't need your time?
To give you some background, my parents have been married, I think this year it was 37 years. Not a lot of people can say that. And they met in Greece, both on vacation separately.
My dream date. Cute.
It was very like romantic. Dad lived in Canada. My mom still lived in the Netherlands. They would send letters back and forth. She was a 90-day fiance if she wanted to stay in, like that kind of vibe.
Really?
Like dead ass, like that.
Okay.
So 37 years later, obviously they fight and they have arguments. But I think what they have shown and taught me is that their love is so deep and it goes so much further than that, right? Also, just the things that they've been through together, whether it's been the best things of their life or like the worst things, parents dying, huge other successes. They really trust each other, like really, really trust each other. There's never like an unwavering trust, like, oh, why did you go here? That's like not part of your routine, are you up to... There's nothing like that. And I think that's so difficult nowadays, especially for our generation, because Mehak, like, and especially as a gay guy, like everyone, or the girls at least, come to the gays for chats about what's going on, or did you hear this from this? Really, like, we love a little gossip, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking cheating.
Everyone's
cheating.
And it's usually the ones that are in miserable relationships that are always like, why are you single? Why don't you get with someone? You're the example that I have to go after? Leave me alone.
Please, and never come back.
Yeah.
But everyone's cheating. I haven't heard gay, straight, bi, lesbian, whatever you date.
Yeah.
A relationship that hasn't ended in some kind of
here?
Infidelity. Hookup culture.
Hookup culture.
Hookup culture. Like the grass is always greener kind of vibes. Like not being able to work through something, right? I find people are so adverse to working through their problems, right? So if something happens, it's like, oh, well, Sally's not good for me anymore.
I'm going to do better for Sally.
Exactly.
I'm going to work harder for Sally.
Yeah.
Just like Sally can do that same thing for Sam, but like...
Exactly. But people are unwilling, right?
It's an easy out.
They don't want to have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yes, I
right?
think it's that.
And they want to have that comfort, right? So it's like, well, I want to stay with Sally because, like, obviously we love each other and we're going to get married, right?
Yeah.
But I also want to fuck Alice and, Stephanie on the side.
Yeah.
And so I want to have my fun and I want to have that risky, like, passionate, get caught kind of vibes, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to have the stability and the comfort of Sally back at home. And it's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And then there's, in the gay community, there's like a ton of open relationships.
So many.
Right? Which, to each their own. Personally, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Right? So
Same.
There's that, right? And it's very, very difficult to navigate because you want to have something that my parents have. At least that's what we've been told and what we've been beat into, that this is your life. It's like, you go to school, you find the love of your life, like you get a job, you guys get engaged, you get married, you live happily ever after, you have your kids. It just doesn't seem like that's attainable anymore,
Yeah, and I think it's a sad, sad time to be dating or like be in a relationship, because this instant gratification that is like so easily accessible by like getting a text from someone new, feeling that riskiness. And I don't mean to bring like, oh, like AI is ruining us, but it actually, like, people are falling in love with AI. So it's like you're not even competing with people anymore.
Yeah.
You're competing with
cyborg
a
Peggy
bot. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's spooky.
Yeah.
It's so spooky.
It scares me. Like, and people are like, you need to have your heart broken and like it builds character and stuff like that. But like, to be honest, like I don't want to go through that.
I say that they're like, well, you had to go through that to really appreciate something.
Girl,
I did
why?
not need someone to like freaking stomp on me. And that didn't happen. But like,
theoretically, like take your soul out of you because they hurt you so much and like you're beside yourself for like a year.
Yeah, I didn't need that to happen to be like, oh, I don't like this. I already know I wasn't gonna like.
I knew that wasn't for me from the get-go. But it's true.
Your parents. What is the best dating advice they've ever given you, or the best life advice they've ever given you?
There's two. And I wholeheartedly go by this every single day of my life. And I think it's a huge reason why I live totally stress-free, even when I've been literally in hell, is that everything always works out in the end and everything happens for a reason. And I think those two, the reason I say both is that they go so well interchangeably with each other. And if I think back to March even of this year when I lost my job and it was a super messy situation and I lost like a friend who was my boss, it was just overall terrible. It propelled me into a direction of my own career that I never thought I would be able to achieve myself, right? So I, the next week, incorporated myself, started my own business. I had clients that left with me from the old place. Like, it was very, very humbling. And not to say that now everything has worked out. It's good. Trust me, owning your own business is not an easy feat. For all you business owners out there, you keep fighting, keep going for it. But those are the biggest things. Even in the worst possible situation that you could ever find yourself in, right? Just know that there's always going to be a reason for why that happened and something better will come from that. And I wholeheartedly always believe in that. And everything will work out in the end, right? Like, I will be 65 on my yacht.
Yes, and I will be right there with you.
Girl, you be on the yacht next to me. It'll be your own.
Period.
We'll have a tie-up.
Oh my God, I love that. You know what's so funny? So not the previous episode, but the one before, I had Yasmin El-Hadi. She's a lovely guest. And I asked her, I was like, what is a question you would want me to ask my next guest? And the question was, what is something you painted as a failure that was the biggest launching pad for you?
What a beautiful question.
What a beautiful question. I feel like the story ties into that perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah. And she came up with it on the spot. She's like, what is something you painted as a failure in your life that became the biggest launching pad for you?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, you really have to think about that for a moment.
You have to think about it. I mean, feel free to think about another example, but I think the example of, like, you know, you losing your job and then that kind of pushing you to start your own business, I know is no easy task, and it's going to continue to have many ups and downs, but I'm sure you find it a lot more rewarding than working for someone else and kind of doing things on your own terms.
Absolutely. And just, I have a business partner as well. Without him, I'm not sure where I would be. Like, I think the fact that we have each other is so special. Absolutely. That was definitely a point in time where you really feel like you had put so much time and effort. Because to be fair, the job that I was at before was a small business and we had grown it into multiple different locations, making millions of dollars. To get to that point and then to have it just go to nothing, right? It was very, very, very unsettling. To push now into doing something like that for myself, build relationships. Like, I'm a huge people person. And I know that no matter what you do in life, if you care for the people and you care for the client, for example, which kind of in essence are the same thing, you will always be successful.
Yeah. And I think that philosophy spills into life as well. I think purpose is being of service to others, right? And I think in terms of business, that's different, like your client, growing your products. But I think in friendships and relationships and personal relationships, you want to do something more for the person. And I think service to others, it's not doing what's expected of you, it's doing more than what's expected of you.
Absolutely.
And I think that really is fulfilling. So I know we're coming close to wrapping up.
I'm so sad.
I know, I could talk to you for hours.
Hours.
Lucky me that I get to see you this weekend and we can talk for hours. But I want to do a quick little rapid fire with you. Okay, let's start with the biggest dating red flag.
Arrogant.
Green flag that makes your heart skip.
Courteous. Like a gentleman.
Give me all the cheese and crackers. I love that shit.
Literally.
I'll eat it up. What's one thing about modern dating that you actually love?
I'd say we're a lot more open as people nowadays. Like when we actually, if you are dating someone more seriously, we're more open. Like I feel like, at least with the ones that I've been on, we share a lot more. Like there's less, things that we have to keep to the side, less taboos. We're a lot more open as a society. Yeah.
If love showed up tomorrow, would you be ready?
Maybe.
Yeah. Actually, it's showing up
It low-key
today.
did.
I love it. Is he going to listen to this, you think?
We'll see. Maybe I'll send it to him and be like, I talked about you.
Yeah. Okay. And then I guess one last thing. I think maybe I'll turn this into a thing that we do every podcast. What question do you want me to ask my next guest?
If they could look at their younger self, or if their younger self could look at them now, what would they be proud of?
Oh my God, that's beautiful. I can't wait to ask that question. And then is there anything you want to say to anyone that's listening?
Be yourself. Absolutely. Wake up every day. Sometimes people ask me how I am that one day, and I'm like, I woke up this morning. And that should be your baseline, right? So no matter what happened to you that day, right? There's a saying where it's like, if you had $10,000, right? I'm just like using a random number, and you lost $5 of that 10,000. Would you throw away that $10,000 because you lost $5? And the answer is no, right? And so in your life, right? Let's say there's 80,000 or seconds and more than that, but whatever amount of seconds in a day, had a really shitty 200 seconds of that. Take a step back, recharge, refocus, and don't let the rest of your day, go to waste. And that's really how I feel like, and I feel like the same with you. We always have a smile on our face.
We do, because what else are we going to do?
We can't sit there and mope around
No.
and because of one shitty thing happened to you that now the rest is going to be shit, right?
Yeah.
And I get if something really awful happens.
Of course, you're allowed to
Yeah.
sit in the feeling of discomfort and unhappiness, but you got to keep it moving. Because again, life is happening for you, not to you, and it all happens for the greater good.
And if it's as a result of someone saying something nasty to you, just remember that hurt people hurt people. Period.
Yes. Inspirational. Chef's kiss. Oh my God, you should have your own little TED Talk.
Yes.
No, but thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was lovely.
Yeah, this was lovely. I know people listening are going to feel seen in so many parts of your story that you shared. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think for everyone tuning in, whether you are dating, single, partnered, or just figuring it out, I think I always like to say, finding love or finding someone is not a race. Like, it'll happen on your own timeline, and your timeline is your own. Thank you for spending your Friday with us, and I will see you next week. Lovely is an Immigrantly media production. This episode was produced by Sadia Khan and Shay Yu, written by me, Mehak. Theme music, sound design, and editing by Lou Raskin. Other music is by Epidemic Sound. Tune in every Friday for more Lovely. Yay! We did it!